What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with Moto. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I really wasn't planning on doing a video, but let's just get right to it. I am very, very disturbed, and I shouldn't be. I shouldn't take it personally. It has nothing to do with me, but I'm pretty disturbed by all the trash talking that's going on in reference to Janus motorcycles and whether they are safe or not. And I'm not going to give glory to another YouTuber who has done a video basically slandering Janus motorcycles. But I will talk about Doodle on a motorcycle a little bit, and I'll talk about my perspective and my experience in 23 years of riding. Not that that matters too much, but let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so how this all started. Back in April of 2025, a famous YouTuber, Doodle on a motorcycle, was starting to talk about taking a trip across the country on Route 66 on a Janus Halcyon 250. Now that's a different motorcycle than I'm riding. I'm on a Janus Halcyon 450, okay? So it's unfair completely for me to say that this is the same bike, but they share a very similar design, same frame. The difference is the thickness in the steel, mostly. This has a beefier suspension. I'm sorry, this has a beefier frame, thicker steel, and it also has a rear suspension, whereas the 250 is a hardtail. Obviously, the 250 has a 250cc motor, as opposed to this motorcycle, which is a 450. So Doodle, you know, gets this awesome. She's very excited about it, and everyone's excited for her. She gets this 250 custom built. It says Doodle on the number plate on the front fender, and she goes out for kind of a test ride or a native ride, or a first ride with Richard Worsham, who's the owner and lead designer at Janus Motorcycles. And so they're out riding, and she gets the motorcycle up to speed, and there's been all sorts of analysis on the crash by objective YouTubers such as Doodle herself, and also by Dan the Fireman. So those are the two YouTubers who have done it justice and have remained objective and neutral and not biased. There's another YouTuber who I shall not name because I do not want to glorify his name, but he is very biased against Janus motorcycles, and has a track history of other videos prior to this crash showing that he is biased. So Doodle gets up to 60 miles per hour, so she gets in a wobble, which some people call it a death wobble or a tank slapper, but the motorcycle starts to wobble back and forth until the point of no return, and then she slides. And thank God she had good gear on, and her injuries, while still significant, she did not suffer broken bones, and she was able to walk away, basically. I mean, after the fact, she had some other complications where she had to limit her mobility, but it could have been a lot worse, and she didn't hit her head or anything like that. So we're very thankful. Everyone is thankful that she wasn't hurt worse. But following the announcement of this crash, you know, everything was quiet for a while. Doodle did not get on YouTube right away and said, "Oh my gosh, look what happened. These bikes are garbage. They're unsafe." No, Doodle is first class all the way, which is more than I can say for some other YouTubers. And she objectively had the crash analyzed by certified experts, and you know, you can watch her video as to what happened, and again, Dan the fireman's video as to you know, some analysis of the crash. And Doodle is not going to let this stop her. Doodle is going to continue with this mission, and she is not afraid, and she's getting back on the horse, and she's going to still do this cross-country Route 66 trip. So she's made of tough stuff, and I have a lot of respect for her. But what I really is upsetting is the aftermath once she announced the crash. You know, a certain YouTuber who, as I said before, has a proven track history of publicly bashing, and I don't know why, because this YouTuber has never ridden a Janus motorcycle that's bashing Janus. So it's like, well, Jay Leno's ridden one and likes them, but you refuse to. You know, Foxy has ridden them and likes them, and you won't give one a shot. So, and at this point, he probably has burned all of his bridges. But I don't know. Janus Motorcycles is run by first-class people, and so I feel like if he extended an olive branch, that he would be welcomed with open arms to try riding a Janus. But that being said, this YouTuber does have a track history of slandering them and bashing them, and you know, negative attention from someone with 1.5 million subscribers, it can be a good thing, because it still attracts attention to the Janus brand. So we should probably be thanking him a little bit, because he's bringing them into the spotlight for those who have never heard of Janus. I want you to be looking at the road that I'm riding. It's all sorts of strange. It's just freshly paved, but it's not perfect by any means. And I'm hoping that I've got some bumps and stuff coming up, just to kind of show you that how well at least the 450 manages the road and is very planted. Rough road, unmarked pavement ahead, so those are all good signs, right? But it's really, you know, just like the flurry of hatred that has come from this. Everyone, you know, following this YouTuber, who I shall not name, they're all jumping on the bandwagon saying, yeah, the bike's unsafe. Yeah, like what he said, yeah. Why isn't anyone else talking about this? And it's like, okay, because it's ridiculous to say that. There's been one instance of a crash related to a wobble that's been brought attention to because it happened to someone with, you know, multiple subscribers and with a lot of influence. If this happened to Joe Schmo, you know, on the side of the road, I doubt it would have had any traction, or anyone would have ever heard about it. So, you know, it's brought into the limelight, and people want to know why. Well, how many of you watching have been in this same situation? It doesn't matter what kind of motorcycle you're on, a wobble can happen. I've had it happen to me on a BMW RT 1200, and like, it scared the crap out of me. It was the right set of circumstances. The front end lifted up. I came back down with my handlebars slightly off center, and the wobble began. Now, thankfully, it was not super high speed. I was able to ride out of it. But if that had happened at 60 miles an hour, I have no doubt that it would have been a very different outcome for me. So with you know, the front end lifting up on the 250, hitting that bridge, and all the other things that happened, yes, a wobble occurred, and you know, I can't sit here and say without like testing the same roadway with the same motorcycle. Like Richard Worsham was right behind her and did not have the same problem. So like it was a perfect storm for her. Maybe because she's so light and it lifted up more. Maybe her center of balance was different than his. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. This video isn't about trying to figure out exactly why it happened. This video is more about the fact that it's absolute. To me, it's completely baseless and ridiculous to just start getting out the pitchforks and the torches for Janus motorcycles based on one crash. How many countless motorcycles have had wobble crashes, and the people don't come out in masses and say, "Kill the beast," because that's exactly what's happening here. This YouTuber is Gaston, and Janus Motorcycles is the beast, and it's absolutely ludicrous. That's one of my favorite words, by the way, ludicrous. But it's absolutely ludicrous to say that Janus motorcycles are unsafe based on this one instance. You know, give me some more science. Give me some tests that show that every time, you know, this happens, that a wobble is produced. There's over 1,800 Janus motorcycles on the road. I know for a fact there are over 1,100 of the Halcyon 250s on the road, and this is the first instance in about 10 to 12 years of the history of Janus that this has occurred. Now let's go back to the original YouTuber, Doodle, and how she's handling the situation. She has, even in a follow-up video, she initially said in the first video that the crash reconstruction analysis did not blame the motorcycle, other than the fact that it is lightweight and she's a lighter than average rider. So she was thrown, the front end was thrown a little bit more easily perhaps than a 200-pound rider. So in a follow-up video, Doodle says, "Hey, for the record," and you know, basically saying, "Look guys, I know there's been some talk, but for the record, I don't blame the bike." And, oh, here we go. Here's some grooved pavement. Oh my goodness, grooved pavement. So, I'm going to slow down just in case, right? Because it's grooved and it's janky. Here comes a lip. Alright, so that was some janky conditions right there, and the bike remained completely stable. So for me, I feel like it's really unfair, you know, to say that it was the motorcycle's fault. But back to Doodle. She is first class all the way. Her grace, her handling of this just makes me respect her so much. I was not a subscriber of hers until this happened, and just seeing how she's ready to get back on the horse. Notice this pavement, this janky pavement, and I'm not going to go 60 because that's not the speed limit here, and honestly I don't think it's good to tempt fate on grooved pavement, because it has been proven to cause issues. However, I am going 51 miles per hour right now, and I feel like the bike is completely planted and stable. Now, if I had a preference, I'd probably rather be over on that smooth pavement, just over on the right-hand side of the lane. Like, who paves a road like this? I can feel a little bit of oscillation back and forth. Not real bad, but just a little bit with this groove pavement. But the bike, and that's my point. Yeah, I don't care if I was on a Honda Goldwing right now, I would be feeling that. Because this is unsteady, unstable surface. An unsteady, unstable surface. And these tires that I have on this bike are a little bit aggressive. They have a little bit of a tread pattern to them. But I want to take it, careful. Because I know better. Because I've been riding for 23 years and I know that this is dangerous. I can feel the bike moving around a little bit. So, again, I don't feel a wobble effect, but I don't. But this is also not a moment that I want to tempt things and take my hands off the handlebars and try things out. I'm riding along and just kind of trying to remain smooth and trying not to upset the contact that I have with the roadway. But my hat's off and my 100%, 110% respect to Doodle on a motorcycle for the way she's handled this whole thing. For not jumping up and down and saying, she's like Bill, in the Beauty and the Beast story. Like, she knows the real deal. She knows the truth. She knows the Beast is good, that he's really a prince. And this other YouTuber, he's saying kill the Beast. And I'm still not really sure why. Other than it gets him views and clicks and money. And that's the only thing I can think of. He guises it under safety and says, for the safety of all, kill the Beast. But the truth is, in my opinion, he just wants people to watch his videos. Like the banging of a loud gong or a cymbal, just a pointless noise. But those who know the truth, man, this is some crazy pavement. Those who know the truth will march on, and maybe they'll even buy a Janus because they want to support Janus through all this ridiculousness. And I know that the truth will shine through, and I know that Janus will continue to thrive. They are wonderful people. They are the most American motorcycle company in the United States, in my opinion, despite the Chinese engine. Yes, I know. But it's who they are. It's their culture. It's how they treat their customers. Anytime I've ever had any small issue with my motorcycle, and there haven't been many, they have like next day shipped the solution, like a dead battery, or I had a vent tube, a fuel vent tube that had touched my header pipe, was starting to melt, so they sent that out, sent a brand new one out. Like, they're very responsive. They care about their customers because they have to. They're not Harley Davidson. They're not Yamaha. They're not Indian motorcycles. They're a small motorcycle company that produces between 350 and 400 motorcycles a year. And so I still believe in them, and that's really the whole point of this video. So let's stop the baseless slander, the trash talking. And if anyone's going to trash talk or put down Janus or the motorcycle, let it be the one who crashed. Let's stop saying kill the Beast, because it's not fair, and it's completely ludicrous. We're entering the town of Gordonsville, Virginia, one of my favorite little towns to ride through. It's beautiful. Harley. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening to be out riding on my Halcyon 450. Ooh, that was a big bump. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching today, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. If you're gonna have some thoughts, I would just ask you to do one thing: keep it civil. Uh, like I love my motorcycle. You know, I'm not trying to defend Janus just because I love my motorcycle, but I really think that this whole thing is just a big kill the beast. And so I would just ask you to be kind and civil. And if you have a point to bring up, then I'm all about discussing it. And if you want to argue, I'm all about arguing or debating in an intelligent and civilized manner. But if you're going to come at me with pitchforks and torches, then I would ask you to just move along because I'm not the beast, and it's not really going to do you any good. Thank you guys so much for watching today. God bless. And if you haven't subscribed to Referee Moto, please consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That helps me out. God bless, and we'll definitely see you in the next video. Appreciate you.